Okay, I'm at 190 Winchcombe Drive in Centerville, Ohio, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, anything that would be concerning for the buyer. Our access is a copper stack behind the hot water heater in their utility room next to the HVAC. And we're going to go, it looks like it goes out to the rear. There's a floor clean out in the back left room, storage room in the basement. And so if we need to, we'll try to go all the way out, but if we need to, we'll go from here and then we'll make a move over to that other clean out. And so you can see there's the back of the hot water heater. And here is the entrance to there. So it's back behind the hot water heater. So there should be cast iron under the floor, which it is. And cast iron is not a bad material. Obviously, it does rust because it is cast iron. So it normally does look this rough. And so the main thing we always talk about with cast iron is just the tendency to have soft clogs. It's just a little more common. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but when you have excessive toilet paper or normally it's something like wet wipes or female products that get flushed down, and it's a lot more likely to cause clogs in a cast iron pipe just because of how rough it is. Just by the nature of having rust on the inside, sometimes it catches easier. And wet wipes are a problem because you can just see the toilet paper sitting here. And so what we're going to try to do here is run some water down this stack and flush the line out a little bit, but I'm going to have to pause the video to do that. But I'll get back to the cast iron topic, the wet wipes. Wet wipes don't disintegrate, and so if you see it sitting here like this, toilet paper will, once it's wet for a little bit, it'll disintegrate. Those wet wipes don't do that, and so if they get caught, the stuff can build up behind them. With toilet paper, eventually you leave it soaking in the water long enough and it'll disintegrate into the water. Wet wipes won't do that, and so they're a lot more likely to cause what we call soft clogs. Things that aren't structural, but usually caused by the homeowner or something like that. But so at any rate, I'm going to pause the video for a second. We're going to run some water upstairs and try to flush this line out a little bit. Okay, we flushed the toilet. And we're just going to watch the line here. As you can see, the water level was gone, so we know it dissipates. And so we'll push it on out. We just want to make sure that it's flushing the stuff through the line like it's designed. Yep, so it's already gone. One extra flush and it's already pushing down. So we'll take a better look at this as we pull back. I just want to flush the line out, obviously, so you can see the toilet paper and stuff. It's not a big deal. So
I seen it was on. I figured it was on.
It looks like, well, we should be able to see. I know that there's that floor clean out, so we should be able to tell as we get across the house when we reach that point. And then once it exits, which looks like we may already be there, you can see connection on the top. Most top connections are clean outs. We usually put fixtures. Usually those are connected at the flow line. And so overall, though, the cast iron looks really good for its age. Obviously, all cast iron looks ugly, but this is holding shape really well. I don't see any wearing away at the bottom or channeling on the bottom of the pipe. maybe that other clean out, it could have been a stack, but maybe that was normally, they don't even put toilet flanges or anything right above the line like that. Usually run branches over. You can see the rubber hub on this connection. Still intact.
You hear that?
Do that?
Sounds weird.
Sounds weird. So, if there is ever any concern about cast iron, there's also, if you start to have a higher rate of like increased soft clogs like we talked about earlier, you can also do what they call descaling, which would be where you basically run like a chain head through there, and it scrapes all the excess rust and stuff off the pipe. And so it looks like we've made it all the way to the main, and so it does. It has cast iron all the way out to the main, which is a pretty uncommon thing to do. But late 60s, early 70s, they did it quite a bit. Most of the time when you see cast iron outside, it's on like septic tanks where they only got to go like 20 feet. But some neighborhoods, they did use it like this. It is a lot better for keeping roots out than clay is, but just not quite as common. And so I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to go get a locate to verify where we are, to make sure that we are all the way out at the main and not tying into another line. But and so I'm going to again pause the video. We're going to get a locate to verify. Okay, so everything makes more sense now. As far as using cast iron all the way out, it is common in this era, but I just mean the sewer line's only about 30 feet off the house in the rear. So that's good. It's right in line with like the telephone poles and everything. You can see the sewer main is clay, and that last little bit, the tap, is also clay. But yeah, the majority of the line, or well, the entire line, is cast iron underground, and it's in pretty good shape. I mean, it's like I said a couple times, it's ugly, but they're all ugly. They all just fill with rust, but this has actually held shape really well. So I don't know if it's ever been, I'm sure it's probably had to be cleaned once or twice from some soft clogs, but I don't think it's ever been descaled. Like I said, this, the way this looks, it doesn't, there's no need for it right now. You can see the water level after turning it off. Sometimes it takes a while for it to escape on lines if they're really flat and they have minimum pitch. Minimum pitch is about 1% grade, kind of like concrete or about anything. It's 1/8 of an inch per foot, which is roughly a foot of drop every 100 feet of length of pipe. But most of it should have escaped since the water's been off for a minute. Let's see. The line is really rough cast iron. You'll see a lot of buildup around the edges. You'll have channeling in the middle with usually like grease buildup and stuff like that. But this is all held shape really well. So you can see usually this kind of like the channeling there where it's just kind of starting. And it usually happens, there's a connection there, it looks like to the right. And that's kind of where that usually starts.
I know.
Yeah, please.
There's that clean out there.
Stay confident with the first part of it. And we went to some really crappy renters in the past. Over some differences.
A little bit of debris. Running that little bit of sink water usually doesn't do. It's the flushes that push the debris out. Yeah, I've only seen a couple spots with a little bit of kind of with the mineral, kind of a mineral buildup, with a little bit of rust. Very, very minimal. Well, I haven't seen any defects yet, which is really good. We are coming back to the vertical. Now we clean out. And here we are. Everything looked great. Didn't see everything that we saw in there was pretty much par for the course. Normal for a, 60-something-year-old cast iron pipe. It's all actually in pretty good shape for that age. Like I said, it's held shape pretty well. No buildup. All the joints look nice and tight. There's no root intrusion, no bellies or low spots. It looks like it's functioning really well. So besides the normal stuff that you have to kind of pay attention to with cast iron, as far as making sure you're not flushing anything strange, the line's in great shape. So that's going to end the inspection at 190 Winchcombe Drive in Centerville, Ohio.